Welcome back to Endless Space Abridged. In the previous part, we were fighting our small conflict with the Orange faction. Not too much happened, and it kind of just petered out. We ended up at peace with them. And then we gradually started getting peace with everyone, building our economy, building our influence, and harassing people using it. And ultimately, we peaced out with all of the galaxy except for the Red faction, which we can't get peace with. Although, along the way, we lost the Pacifist Party in our Senate. That means we can't get the full benefit of being at peace with everyone, and it's reducing our happiness quite a lot. We need that benefit to counteract the fact we've over-colonized. That's why we're here in the government screen for some shenanigans. If we become a democracy, we're allowed to have 3 in-power parties, and the pacifists are the 3rd biggest party right now. So with democracy, it's more likely that the pacifists will be in power forever, which is what our empire now requires. We're going to lose a bonus actually that makes the over-colonization penalty less bad by not being a federation anymore. So it sounds a little bit counterproductive, but it's going to be worth it in the long run since the happiness boost from the pacifist thing is massive. So we begin a democratic revolution which looks extremely violent by the looks of things. All we have to do is wait for 5 turns now for it to complete. But during those 5 turns we now have no laws at all, and we did have some laws still improving our happiness, so it's going to get worse for a while and might be better afterwards. Here's my plan that I mentioned at the end of the last part. Against Red, we're just going to have them on lockdown. We've got peace with everybody else, but we can at least contain Red in the corner so they're not a problem. We need to declare war on them. There I was confused about why I can't kill them, forgot I wasn't at war with them already. And then we quickly attack a couple of their ships there and they just run off. As for their home system, it's too heavily defended for us to do a ground invasion. So we're just going to sit here. We can siege them down. We've got nowhere else to be thanks to the peaceful state of the galaxy. And they'll gradually die. It looks like Red doesn't really have much going on down here. We can't see all of their territory. But not many ships are present, and I don't think there's much space left in the map for them to have lots more territory. Now we're moving on with the story quest. I completed the thing which was colonize 15 temperate planets. The next quest is just to get a certain amount of science, which we almost have already. And in exchange, the Academy, the mysterious mages, will give us back the hero we've been looking for that they apparently captured at some point. We successfully established democracy with no rebellions happening along the way, so that's all good. And here we are. At first, I actually can't do anything with this because we need to have some elections in our democracy apparently to decide which parties are going to be in this Senate. Well, this happens in the next turn. We'll support the pacifists, of course, that's all we really need. The scientists are guaranteed to win. Not quite sure how the industrialists won last time with that 2% support. Well, we're going to go through now and pick up our new Senate, which will be scientists, pacifists, and militarists. That's a pretty good combination, because even though the pacifist bonuses are pretty good, we might also need to be at war with people, so having the militarists around can do things like make that cheaper, and the scientists allow you to go further ahead in the tech tree than you normally can by skipping research stages, which could be useful too. Looks like one of my planets is about to rebel by the looks of things, down at 0% public order, mutinous status, all bad, but it's now time. We can pop out the make love not war thing. We can command people to be happy about the fact that we're not at war with everyone, and that's going to do the business. Along the way, we also increased our science, possibly because of the law changes. So there we go, we've got OffyD back, our official hero who led us to wherever we are now, from Auriga. And apparently this comes with some other intel. There's an Auriga 2.0. The Academy, the mysterious people, happen to know that the planet we came from had a population that was left behind. That population shipped out to a different planet, and we're going to go and find them now at Auriga 2.0, not very creatively named, but there it is. We can't do the next mission though, because it's to send that OffyD hero we just got at level 10 to Auriga 2.0, and he comes in at level 7 or something. There's a look at the public order now. Up to 80% happiness, a massive boost from that law. So we are once again stable, and check out this table of all of the different happinesses. Most places are at 100%. They're absolutely going wild for how peaceful we are. And that's all of our happiness issues solved, effectively. We can even colonize some more stuff if we want. Well, now we just need to get OffyD to level 10 to carry on the main quest. To do that, I'm just going to throw him as the governor of a system somewhere, and then I think every time you build something in the system, the hero gets experience points, so just eventually, if we continuously build things, that will happen. Now a quick look at something I forgot about, but discovered again at this point, the system development thing. This is effectively a custom building system, which I really like. You can make 3 level ups to a system, and each one does something based on what you choose to be the cost of that level up. So my first level up, I think I made it cost the incense, and it increases influence or something like that. So here we are developing what the next level up will be, and they all stack as well, so we're going to have that bonus influence on all of our systems, and now I'm going to make this new building design that will increase a bit of happiness and give you some extra science and money on any system we buy that in. It does cost the Hyperion resource, which is somewhat rare, so it will be a bit hard to make this new building. We'll do it eventually though. And then for the final system development level up, we can throw some more stuff down, but there's one level up that just increases the effect of all previous level ups and everything stacks together. So I thought we might as well slap that on the end just to get more of all the stuff we asked for before. It's extremely expensive, we can't even make one of those buildings, and we ideally want them on all of our 20 or so systems. Well, we'll get there one day, I suppose. Gives us a nice reason to become very rich, because we can then go into that market trading screen I was talking about in the last part, do some shifting around and get this rare resource off everybody else, and then just spend it on making that nice buffing thing on all of our systems for extra stuff. Basically, the long and short of this bit of the commentary is, we're going to get some more number one day. Going back to our war with Red, there I am killing their civilians. The pacifists still haven't found out what I'm doing, and we're now able to actually attack the planet just because we've sieged it down so much. There's not very much there. In fact, we have an overwhelming advantage. We can use this preemptive bombing thing to take out loads of the enemies on the first round of combat. It does blow up their infinite supermarket as well. I guess it wasn't so infinite after all. I don't really mind because I had no intention of actually taking this planet. I just wanted to get this potential source of hassle in the future out of the way. What I was interested in doing is taking one of these other options on the right, either razing it or just pillaging it and leaving. The problem is you get a happiness debuff if you do this, because we're not a dictatorship. Only dictators can be evil, unfortunately. So I'm not going to do it because happiness is what my people deserve in every way. We are the happy civilization, we do nothing bad, but we can do some shenanigans here to still make use of this forced capture. I don't want to keep it, not only because we have so many colonies already, but because this red faction has some sort of special trait going on where they've depleted the planets and there aren't any resources on them, so we can't really use it for anything anyway. What I can do though is now get a truce with them and force them to give me a couple more of their regions in the truce deal. This of course makes us even further over the colonization limit, but in the very same turn I figured I'll just sell them to Horatio, who doesn't have much territory. That will mean our ally is getting stronger and we don't have to deal with this corner of the galaxy. I thought it was a great plan. Horatio doesn't like the looks of this plan. Apparently it would be making him a laughingstock. Well, we ended up talking about it some more, and this other deal was more acceptable. I gave him 3 of Red's territories in return for 55 Hyperiums, and that was that. They liked it. So, Red are now effectively out of the game. They just have one system and it's not their home system, so it's probably not that built up. And Horatio is now a bit more powerful. It made me think, have we nearly won or something yet? Because our alliance can control so much of the galaxy at this stage. Well, we actually control less than half the amount we need to win, so we're nowhere close. We need to completely obliterate some other factions, such as Purple, that have a lot of territory. Maybe then we'd be in the running. We're supposedly broadly winning according to this screen. We're in first place. I think it means our alliance, though. The allies work together for the victory conditions as far as I can tell. Although none of them are actually anywhere close to happening. Here's a nice trade, giving the orange guys one of my techs in exchange for 2 of theirs, allowing me to keep up with the techs the other people are getting, but I'm not. Pretty handy, although it costs tons of influence to make such trades. I think a trade like that eventually got me the tech to set up trade companies. I think I got this off Green, in fact. The trade companies just sort of exist in the background and make you a bit of money by trading around your systems for you. Although it's not completely hands-off and privatized, I guess, because we have to decide what ships they use, and we have to buy them for them, so it's kind of state-run. It looks like it'll just generate us a bit of stuff. I think it was based on how far away you put the various trading posts. I tried to put them as far away as possible, but I think it only counts systems that you control on the route. You have to make an explicit trade deal with another faction for their systems on the route to add to the value. Something, something, something. Some more number should be coming in from this. We're going to have to invest some number in it. But it will also grow on its own and become more powerful, and you unlock more trading companies by just having companies trade a bit more. And we very quickly unlocked all of them. I think we're coming to this later in the game than you're supposed to, because we just rapidly went through the whole trade system and unlocked everything right away. And we've got effectively unlimited money to dump into such things, because if I ever want more money, I'll just sell some weird potatoes to somebody and make tons of cash whenever I want. Now I'm doing a quest, which was to save the academy. The academy was being attacked by pirates or some such thing, so we blew up a couple of them. That's all looking good. But then I get this message from Green, which was a bit ominous. It sounds like they want to attack me and steal some of my stuff. What I did with this is I ignored it, the classic strategy, thinking they won't ever bother me, Green. Well, I say this foreshadowingly because we are going to have a bit of trouble with Green eventually. For now though, just these pirates to deal with, and we're once again exploiting the way fleets seem to work. We're fighting most of the pirates that spawned for this quest all at once in the same place, but they all spawned as a separate fleet. So we just have like 7 different engagements, one after the other, where we destroy one ship really easily. And that's that. We saved the academy. Hopefully they're grateful. They gave us some free stuff as a reward, and maybe we look good. We're so rich that these rewards aren't even that impressive anymore. I wanted more, really. At least I'm still getting some free stuff off the other factions by spamming this influence demand thing. There I even got a tech and tons of that rare Hyperion resource off of purple. Great stuff. And because influence just comes back again and again, it feels like a very renewable way to constantly steal things from other factions. We have kind of specced into influence with my system development things we were looking at earlier. Plus our capital is producing so much influence, as mentioned previously in this series, that the territory is just spreading into purple systems really easily, and we're constantly able to bully them as a result. Here was the discovery that you could just buy heroes. I make a very cultured choice by the looks of things. My goal here was to buy a hero who would be the leader of the pacifist party, which makes them a little bit more powerful in various ways. This turned out to be a missed opportunity. There were loads of heroes for sale, and it would have been useful, I now know, to buy as many as I could as early as possible. I wasn't really paying attention to the hero system in the game at all. I just got some for free sometimes and threw them in some places. We could have used our vast wealth to capitalize on this in various ways. I'll talk more about that in the future. Also on the topic of heroes, we've now reached the point when Opbot is level 10 after watching some stuff get built a few times, so we can kick him out of his job as a system administrator and turn him into a fleet hero on the map. We can choose where to spawn him, and this is instantaneous, so he actually teleports across the galaxy to suddenly appear over here. Now we just have to fly him to Auriga 2.0 for our story quest. The only problem is, this guy has terrible movement, much less movement than any other ship, so he's going to very slowly make his way there. Going to back him up by sending our equally slow actually stack of bad ships I had sitting at the capital. Many of them are from the minor civilizations. They have a few stinkers in their lineup that I just kept around. A bunch of turns later, while waiting for Opbot to show up, I was poking around in the tech menu, then some stuff starts popping up all over the place. We shoot through some pop-ups, and then an important one appears. We've got a big quest starting here. This is a quest to do with the Academy. They are apparently trying to revive some old gods or something like that. There was some prior race of special magic people who did stuff in the past, and the Academy wants to summon them back to life. We have to choose whether we'll help them or try to stop them. Trying to stop them seems to be the scientific option. We don't want gods messing things up in the galaxy. But I thought, no, I'm going to go with the rejuvenate option because doing a quest to effectively do nothing didn't sound that interesting. At least if we bring the gods back to life and they kill us all, we had some gameplay along the way, or something like that. Here Purple is trying to stop me from stealing their territory. I was happy to stop just because I'm being nice to them and I don't really want their territory. That's because their territory is in my sphere of influence at the moment. So yes, that new quest starts. It kind of doesn't really take hold until the next turn, when it reveals what's really going on with all this. Essentially, it's splitting the galaxy into two teams, people who want to revive the gods and people who don't. We're on the revive team, and I must say that's the better team by the looks of things, because more of the factions joined our side. The thing to note is that these teams are separate to our previous alliances, and you do have to fight each other over the key systems that have now spawned. Essentially, we have to get a ship to each of the key systems that's around the galaxy somewhere to begin the rejuvenation ritual. The good news with all that is that they're all in our territory, either my territory or the territory of somebody who's on our side in this joint race. So it's looking pretty good. But the point is, once we're there, you are allowed to fight anybody else who's there if they're on the other team, regardless of whether they're allied to you. That just means we need to be a bit careful here. We might end up actually fighting some people. Not sure if it's going to start a war or anything like that. Green threatened to invade me again. I cut them off before even listening to the whole message. That's how little I believed that they were going to do it. We are now on the opposite team to Green though, so we could be fighting them very soon. What I'm doing, as you can see, is using my vast wealth to just quickly buy extra ships as close as I can to the various points we need to reach, and then we'll fly out after them. And our teammates are generally in a good position to claim more systems for our team as well. I think we really lucked out here. It seems like it would be RNG how hard this quest is going to be, and we've got a really easy setup where all but one of the systems we need to get, I think, were readily accessible either to me or somebody who's on my team. While we gear up for that, we complete the story quest. Opbot has finally arrived at Auriga 2.0, and we are reunited with the people we are presumably descendants from, maybe, although there's cryogenic freezing in there, so we're probably quite recent descendants of them. Or maybe they did the same thing that we did, because we're now both in the future. I don't know. Auriga 2.0 has been acquired. This was, well, an underwhelming quest reward, really. The quest just kind of ends here. We rediscovered the people we're descended from or something, and we get the stuff that they had. I expected something bigger to happen because it seemed like a kind of main quest, and I didn't really want another system, to be honest, so I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I control this one pop and its system as well, just like another minor faction gain. And that was the end of that indeed. You even get an achievement for it. Here I am stealing some stuff off Orange, forcing them to give me tech somehow. Don't know how it's working, but it's all working pretty well. Then, while I'm innocently poking around in a hero menu there, some more pop-ups appear. Green tried to say something to me. I immediately threw whatever they were saying out the window, but then they said something else, and it's that they're declaring war on me, and we can't really ignore that. We immediately get all these blockade notifications because one of my trading company headquarters is in Cheng, the territory we got from Green way earlier, so they kind of surround part of our trade network and can blockade it very easily. Orange also declare war on us. I think they're actually allied to Green at this stage. And we're being ground invaded here at Selfie. Yes, Green already has a powerful fleet in orbit and can immediately ground invade. Absolutely none of my planets have any ground defenses on them because I haven't been preparing at all for war. So they have very low manpower caps and they're quite easy to capture, as evidenced right here. Well, we can do the draft thing that we saw our enemies doing in the past to increase the number of defenders in exchange for reducing the population, which could also be good because if we lose the system, then it's less population for the enemy to have as well. So it's win-win. Throw everybody into the grinder. The pacifist party is truly still in control. At least we can deal this blow to Green. We took out one of their explorer ships at the magical quest locations for the academy thing, and boom, now we control this spot, getting started on that quest on a high note, but the war in general is going to be a problem. I decided to try this. I bought a pirate mark. This is a thing that allows us to send the pirates after somebody. I figured let's send the pirates after Green to just generally disrupt them and punish them. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to do this as it turns out, because they're in a non-aggression pact with the pirates, the same as me. I ended up just saving the pirate mark in case I wanted it later. So we have to fight Green with our own ships, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for a couple of reasons. There we are, losing that Sylphie system in the next turn. They absolutely annihilated us, and that's that. An entire system is down. However, all hope is not lost because my main fleet exists right here, next to Kilfi at Kras. And we're able to fight the enemy right now, in fact. This was immediately a mistake. What I thought I was doing is having the fleet attack the one enemy ship. What we've actually done is attack with just the hero. The fleet was in the docks. I can then afterwards bring the fleet out, hoping they would somehow join up with the hero. Handily, the hero can take out that one enemy ship on their own, so that's fine. But after that fight, another green fleet that kind of snuck in during my turn somehow shows up, and they are now fighting everything that's here, including the hero. We outnumber them, however, green's ships are way better than ours. We've really not focused on military tech at all. We're still using ships pretty much the same as we had at the start of the game. The enemy have bigger capital class ships that are just going to sail in and take us out. Even though the battle was almost even on the balance bar, the actual fight is extremely one-sided. So here's some footage of our stuff just getting annihilated. While we have some theoretical power, the enemy are just focus firing down all of my small ships. They don't have the health to apply their power or something. Who knows how the balance bar is actually calculated. And we get absolutely annihilated. I think we lose all of our ships without the enemy losing any. And that was that. Would be nice to be able to say, hey guys, can you retreat during the engagement? But you can't micro fights like that in this game. So we lose the fleet, and they attack the planets below in the same turn, so we're immediately fighting their ground army. I'm going to go with this option, tactical surrender. This means you just don't fight them and they get the system automatically, but I think it means your resistance to their occupation lasts a long time, so it's a bit easier for us to get it back in the future. However, looking around, what are we going to use to do that? The stuff we just lost was most of my concentrated force. I didn't really have a big navy aside from that, and we haven't even unlocked the kinds of ships that Green have. We need to get into that tech tree and do some of the military stuff, although actually unlocking bigger ships, I later learned, is in the Empire Development tech tree. It took me a long time to find that out, a little bit too late as well. Inconvenient. Here's another win for us though. We can use a science ship to take out one of their science ships, so our science ships are better than theirs, securing another of the magical locations. Still, we now have very few ships. We've just lost 2 systems very fast, and Green's going to have the ability to take more if they want. Plus, we need to awaken the gods for some reason. Looks like we've got a lot of work to do going into part 5. Thanks for watching this OffyD gameplay commentary. Check out the playlists on my channel for more.